over onto YouTube, which it didn't. Which is annoying. So I'm going to go and try and fix that real quick. So this should be... Okay, and now let's see if that actually fixed it. Cool, it did. Alright. I need to go in and figure out on YouTube how to change that manually now, because the restream feature that's supposed to do it for me does not work. But at least now it should be reading this the correct way, because now that's what's showing up on YouTube for me. Okay. So, that's there, and then... and Restream isn't showing the YouTube chat either. That's really annoying. So I'm going to get that open on a different tab.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Is it a plugin?
Restream is a browser-based piece of software that I have an account for, and it'll like send stuff to multiple different stream keys and get the chat all together in the same place. Unfortunately, it's not doing that thing right now. So we're having to improvise a little bit. But we should be about there. I'm going to have this here, go there, and then tweet. And I'm going to send the announcement to Discord. Cool. The nice thing is that on the... on all of the tweets and announcements and stuff, it is showing up at the correct title on YouTube. So waiting to post it until I had corrected that did fix it. I don't know that the go live announcement is gonna... Don't know that the go live announcement is gonna work well, but it's at least part of it that's gonna function. Okay.
Oh, I just heard double. Oh, let's mute that stream.
All right. All right, so hello, Goody SPL. Goody SPL was in like an hour early, not realizing that they were actually 3 minutes early. So they get the first award today. And hello, Last Data and Bad Gamer and Amelia and Noodle and the Derpy Squeege and Magnus and Julian Patterson and Flopdoodle and Bear and Pat Gaming and Devi and Corico50 and Go Sushi and Asteroider and RTD York and Whistlewind Wolf and Kitty and Phantomu and Igor and a random guy, I guess, and Rochelle. Welcome, everybody. Having this an hour early feels uncanny. I know, I'm such a regular poster. It's still funny to me that people will pop into YouTube comments like, "Whoa, I was really early to a Squid School video." They're on the same exact time every single day. It is ever since like June 3rd. There has been an upload on the channel at 8 a.m. every single day with very few exceptions. So it's like, at this point, I'm surprised people don't have it clocked already. I don't know. But welcome, everyone, and let me introduce our special guest today. We have Magic 8 Ball.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, Magic. So if you don't know Magic, first of all, how? Magic is a lot of things: tournament organizer, commentator, player. How do you introduce yourself? Because you're so many things.
I just call myself that Splatoon guy. Like that is my bio on Twitter.
Gotcha.
I do a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so it's popular that Splatoon guy, Magic 8 Ball, who's joining us today, and so what's going on is I went into the mod chat and I was like, "Hey guys, I just want to do something for you guys since you've been moderating my Discord server and doing a lot of good work and also a lot of work that's not necessarily the most fun thing to do, but it's important for keeping the community safe and healthy. And so I offered them all a VOD review to be done, whenever it was that we could work out. But some of them took me up on it. Some of them were like, "Okay, how about this instead?" Apparently I'm going to be VOD reviewing Boshin's fishing trip at some point here. He's going to send me a 5-minute clip of him fishing, and I, with absolutely no knowledge of how to fish, am going to do my best. So that's something that might be coming up if he was serious about that, because I'm going to commit to that bit. But Magic requested to just pop on stream and talk about the community for a little bit. And if you want to, be playing like open in the meantime or something, like I'm down for that because we just exchanged friend codes, so I figure that's something you're thinking.
Right. Yeah.
But what happened to all of my alerts and stuff? Oh no, I need to put them all back up. Hold on. But there we go. There we go. Now we got everything. We haven't talked for a little bit of time, and I haven't commented too much on the recent growth and history of the community and everything. So I think it'll be an interesting chat that we're able to have here. Okay, cool. You've got yours all set up. Very brave not to put a password on it, but if we start soon enough, we might be able to sneak in.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just go. Just go.
Press A, press A, press A, press A, press A. All right, there we go. So you're playing Stamper these days. Cool.
I've been trying it, just because of how strong it is. I like the burst bomb. I'm a burst bomb fiend at the end of the day.
Nice. So do you also like play Splash then? Because I mean, come on.
Oh well, I played Splash before it got like super
I
popular.
played Flash before it was cool. Yeah.
Before it was cool. In 2017 I was a Splattershot main, right? So shooter plus burst bomb is my bread and butter. And that's just how I've been rocking for the longest time.
Cool. Well, speaking of the Splash, I feel like that's a really interesting topic of conversation. I'm gonna back up. I don't like this pop. Okay, never mind. We're good. Cool. Speaking of burst bomb, the Splash has come up as a topic of conversation with TOs and some like top players who they've been asking questions for, content creators. There was an idea that's been run past me and some others to potentially have tournaments restrict the weapon loadouts to only a couple of Splash-o-matics. And I've been dying to know what you think of that idea. Given, our shared history in the Smash community, because, we'll probably have a particular perspective on that, having been through, Brawl Meta Knight and things like that.
Right.
And S4 Bayonetta, and I'm curious, like, what you think of that conversation from that perspective, but also just whatever else you were interested in talking about, I'm happy to field as well.
So my discussions about this entire thing started with a Twitter post that I made right before the patch went live, and people, like a lot of people looked at it and like commented on it, but especially FLC said like, what are you talking about? What are you thinking? This seems like not the best take. The fact that
This is remarkably reserved for FLC. I'm surprised he put it that way.
Right? Yeah. No. It was a very strange comment because like I very rarely interact with him anyways, but I guess he's been seeing my stuff. But he basically said like, no, like I don't think that Splash is going to die out anytime soon, even with the new changes, even with the buff patch mentalities people have been commenting on, right? You know, the idea of
buff everything
we want
up to
these
its level.
patches to be buff. Yeah, exactly. Bring things to the level, not bring them down. And this is where it goes back to my Smash background. I see things as, you know, like a problem if they fall into two categories. If they are centralizing and degenerative, right? And I got that from a Smash video, and I'm not going to name the person who made that Smash video, but it was a very well done piece, and it basically says if it is detracting from the skills that are traditionally required to execute in the game, and also the game cannot be played without considering like whatever component this is, then it is definitely probably needs to be handled in some way that is something like a ban, something like a restriction. And right now, it seems like Splash might be falling into that.
I can definitely agree with the centralizing part of the Splash, where it's just everyone has to consider it. It would be silly not to. I'm not sure that I agree with the degenerative part, though. I don't think Splash is an honest weapon. Like, Crab is not the most easy thing to learn. It's not like you can be a beginner at A rank and compete against S rank players or S plus rank players just because you know this one easy thing with Crab Tank. I feel like something like Missiles was a lot more similar to that, and even then there was still some strategy involved in when you popped them. And exactly how you positioned them. Same thing with armor. Like, I feel like even those things were very strong and very centralizing, but never again got to the degenerative part of it. And I feel even less so about Crab Tank. Like, Splash is a difficult weapon. It's strong because the people at top level who are playing it are able to take advantage of its strengths, but it's not the fastest kill time in the game. It's not an easy weapon to aim. It's not something that you can just, like, be... It's not a brain-dead weapon. It's not easy. And it doesn't force you to play the game in ways that are fundamentally different from just playing good Splatoon. So
that's where a lot of people disagree, though, is because of the range, specifically of Crab, and how much pressure it can put out. People make the argument like, no, I feel like I cannot do what I normally do in Splatoon because Crab can one-shot me from half the distance of the map, which is true, right? And so that's the argument that people make, right? And you can say like, oh, well, there's counterplay, there's things you can do, you know, you have to play around cover, but because it's able to shut you down so hard, and honestly, a lot of it is probably part of the map design being so snowbally, there's at least an argument. I still think right now we're not seeing it to the point where it needs to be put down, but a lot of people are leaving the game because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another thing that makes me feel very like a lot of the thing that makes me feel better about it is that there are going to be patches.
Yes.
Like, we only have at most like 4 more weeks before Nintendo drastically changes the game again. And if they continue to see, you know, triple Crab Tank in major tournaments at that point, they may, you know, take further action to combat it. And I mean, granted, you know, I am a content creator. My job is here. Oh, you left, it looks like. I'm gonna
I think something crazy happened with the DC kind of issue.
Gotcha. As someone who, you know, has a career here, as someone who has a vested interest in this community, I think maybe a part of it is just that I'm in it for the long haul one way or another. but also, I am in a position where, for one thing, I think back to Tri-Slosher meta at the beginning of the game, where that was the only weapon you could run, and it went away. Nintendo figured out how to fix it.
Right.
So I have faith that the developers are going to fix it. For another thing, I've always been fine with just adapting to what the meta is, because I still think that the metagame of this game is interesting, even if it's all crab tank. I think that like there's a lot of still expressiveness and skill expression involved in playing a triple crab tank team. And in figuring out, what other weapons you want to pair with it, and how to play the maps, and no two people are going to play it quite the same way. So, I don't, and maybe this is just me speaking from the privilege of being a short-range shooter player, because I like to play weapons in games that are strong, because I feel like those are the weapons that give me options, that let me move fast, that let me be expressive. Yes. And that's what I play the game for in a lot of ways. But I feel like a lot of people, they take a different approach where they're in it for the theory crafting angle. They're in it to make a puzzle of the game and solve it. And with those people, it's too easy a puzzle. They're like, well, the answer to everything is crab tank. I'm bored now. And so they want to be the one who pulls up with this strategy nobody's seen before, with this weapon that nobody thought was viable. The cherry limeades of the community, the people who run Silver Arrow Spray, despite the fact that it keeps them out of Looty playoffs, because they just wanted to make it work because they could. Why did you climb this mountain? Because it was there. And so, for those people, I could definitely see this being a very frustrating time for the game. But, I mean, on one hand, 3 crab tanks is a solution to the puzzle. There are some other solutions to the puzzle that are definitely seeing success. It's not all triple crab tank in top-level Japanese play right now. People are playing other things. And there will still be more for them to do once there's a patch coming around. So, I don't know. I don't feel super sympathetic to that even then, because I think that there are plenty of things to look forward to, and there's still plenty of things for those players to do.
There's a lot that I want to touch on, because I have been a Pokemon player as well in the past, and there's a very famous example of, in 2015, during the World Championship, the top 8 teams were all borderline the same. Right? They had, like, all of them basically had the same 5 Pokemon. But what made that tournament so interesting was the way in which people used it. And I think that it's the same for Crab right now. It's the same for Splash. How are people building Crab? What gear are they using? How are they playing it together? And that's the other thing that people have commented on why Splash is so strong. It's because of the combo of the Burst Bomb with the Special, with the short range perfect accuracy shooter, and pairing them together, right? It's not just one Burst Bomb that's going to kill you, it's the second one that comes in from a different angle that you aren't expecting. And so that's, I think, a big reason why people are saying, maybe if we restrict it, it'll be better. But even in North American tournaments, like, I watched Squid Junction, I think it was last weekend, and the main thing that I saw being run was Charger and 3 shooters, but all 3 shooters were different. And sometimes there was a machine in there still. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's a set-in-stone thing, even at a pretty high level of the game. And of course, the last thing that I want to do as a tournament organizer is get involved with what the players want, right? Pause. I do not want to get involved and make a decision that is above the players' heads, right? Mm-hmm. If they want to play Double Crab, who am I to stop them from doing that? Unless it is legitimately destroying the ecosystem and environment of the game.
Yeah, I think that there is maybe an argument where if the players who are playing Double Crab don't want to be playing Double Crab, then maybe we could say something, because we just, like, if all the top level players agree there and they'd rather be doing something else, then sure. Like, there is a point at which I would listen to that, but also, if there's even one team that's like, this is what helps me win, I'm happy doing this is a fun game still, then we're basically saying that this group of players who don't want to play this strategy are their opinions matter more than this other group of players who do like playing this strategy.
Right.
And there are definitely people who are fine with the status quo who will not speak up because they don't see the status quo as changeable. And if we just go forward on the basis of people who don't like the way that the game currently is, what might happen is we lose those players who were silently cool with it and didn't think that they needed to speak up to defend themselves, and lose their place in the game because of it.
Yes, and this is something that I feel happened at the end of Splatoon 2. Because I don't know if you remember, but when K-Bot put out a survey of sorts on what maps and modes should be used the majority of the time in tournaments because the list was getting too long. And it was getting too long. It was not a good list.
Mm-hmm.
But since there is a majority of shooter players, like people who think like us in the game, there's a majority of players who are frontliners, who think like you and I, and who see game design in a particular bias. That means that survey is going to have some inherent bias in probably was the reason that the shooter meta developed in the first place, even though it was unintentional by all parties involved. That because the maps that we chose were a majority of shooter and short-range players, that's what ended up favoring in the map pool.
Be interesting to see what would have happened if we had gotten a scientifically representative sample of players. Like, get people from different places, get people from different weapons, and like make sure that we're looking at the game holistically like that, and see if we come to the same conclusions.
Proper random sample.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, right? And it takes a lot to go into something like that to make that decision, to make research around those decisions. And right now, I feel like we either aren't putting in that kind of time towards this, or it's going to be biased in some way because of, what the loudest crowd is.
Mm-hmm. And the loudest crowd is usually nowhere near representative. Like, way less than representative than you would think. But the problem is that the loudest crowd starts to influence other people's opinions, and anyone who's going to bandwagon on what they hear, anyone who's a little bit more casual and isn't collecting the information themselves, but is rather listening to what other people are saying about it, listening to the commentators, listening to the pundits, if you will,
right.
That those opinions will start to become the opinions of others over time. Yeah, so that was something that I learned being a Smash tournament organizer, that the loudest ones were not the ones who were in the majority. They were a very specific set of players, and, they were, disproportionately active in the community, and there's something to be said for the contributions that they were making. But also, you couldn't just make decisions about what would interest everybody or what would bring in new players based on what those people wanted.
Right.
And, it's not like it was their fault. It's not like they had bad opinions or anything. It was just that they were in a different position from everybody else. So that was a challenge to overcome when I was looking for, what kinds of events people wanted to run. And I was very experimental because I had no other way of figuring it out. I had to experiment before I could really know what was going to be best for everybody. That experimentation takes time, and my argument is we do not have that time before there's another patch into this game.
Right.
We need a bunch of major tournaments and a bunch of different people from varied backgrounds all calling for the same thing based on the results of those multiple major tournaments. We might get a tournament, for example, one major tournament, let's say, in between now and when the patch happens, where we could potentially apply this ban. And the problem with that is that we're going to get more viewership on that tournament just by nature of that tournament being the first one that has the ban. And everyone's going to want to see, wait, how is this changing things? Is this actually good for us? They're going to pay more attention to that one tournament. And so that might get read as like a false positive for this is working, as opposed to, well, everyone just wanted to check it out and see what was going to happen. Like, maybe there was a dumpster fire, but it's a dumpster fire everyone wanted to watch. That's also a possibility in that situation. So I just don't like the idea of starting to make restrictions now in a situation where the game will still change, and even if we don't like it, it's not going to be the same way for long, and we might as well just work with the universal version of the game. One other aspect of it that is kind of related is that it will take time not only to figure out that this is the right plan, but also to standardize it even once we know.
Right.
There will still be tournaments that will not make the same choices that we make about this, even if we decide that this is the right way to go, for a while, until it becomes the standard and everyone expects it to be that way. So we don't have time for that either. So I don't think that, short of like an experimental tournament just to see, that's not a major, that's not something where a serious amount of clout is on the line for it, because that's the only prize that we get in Splatoon tournaments. Then I don't think it's worthwhile to go for it, because that will diminish the competitive integrity of those events that we do try to run with it.
Yeah, exactly. Because if people are expecting double splash, and that's what they've been scrimming all, like, you know, for the past 4 months, and now all of a sudden we hand them a restriction that says, hey, can't do that anymore. Now all of a sudden they, like, teams that weren't practicing that because of stubbornness, because of their own opinions or what have you, and those are going to be in the minority, but they're given an advantage, right? And so it's such a fascinating give and take here. I think that having one of those tournaments could be interesting, right? And you know, the argument could be made, well, okay, if it's something that everybody's going to turn into to see how it turns out, isn't that still a good thing to do, to at least try, to at least say, like, hey, let's try and spice things up, make things interesting? I think that that's at least valuable from an overall scene health standpoint.
Yeah. Like, it's definitely worth experimenting with, but those experiments shouldn't be at majors. Those experiments shouldn't be at, like, tournaments where there's a lot of prestige, there's a lot of value seen from big results there. That should be, like, a weekly one day where a TO decides to, let's pull this out. Like, in Smash, you always start from the local level and then build up. Like, if you're a new tournament organizer, you run locals. And then, if you do well with your locals, people take notice and they bring you on staff for a regional. And then once you've got regionals under your belt, they start looking at you as someone who could potentially help and run a national. Like, you work your way up, and the same thing has to happen with rule changes. You want to ban wobbling, ban it at your local, and see what that does for the rest of your scene. And then maybe bring that up. And it was when Juggle Guy brought it up to the big house that it started to become a major conversation in the community, and that actually affected change. But you can't just do that by saying, actually, this one major, the last major of this patch, which is going to determine who is the best Splatoon team in North America up until this point, Cherry Limeade is just going to have a randomly huge advantage here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. And I think that we need Roundy. We need Roundy to run one of his tournaments again.
Is he the one who does the buy a low tier, the cost, the one where you have to like buy your weapons and the high tier ones cost more?
That was Shopping Spree. That was done by, I think that was done by both Roundy and Spawn Point. I think Roundy adapted Spawn Point's format. But Roundy does all kinds of wacky tournaments, all kinds of restriction tournaments, just for the heck of it.
That Ideas Only, was that his?
One. Yeah, exactly. I don't remember the last time he ran one, though, is the thing.
But yeah, like, that kind of experimentation is really healthy, and I love that it's happening, and that it's... And the thing is, it's billed as being that kind of experimental tournament, because you tell people up front, this is gonna be weird, this is not going to be standard competitive Splatoon. Everyone is totally on board, and it's a really rip-roaring good time. And I'm all for those kinds of events. But we can't just say, actually, we're playing by the bad ideas only rule set now.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Because we've decided it's a good idea.
I think the other interesting thing you brought up was, the power of those kind of loud people, the people who have a decent amount of influence. It puts content creators in such an interesting and volatile position. And I want your perspective on that, because even if I have been, kind of posed as a creator recently, I think your take is much more important than mine.
I think that there's a massive responsibility in any content creators, regardless of what they're talking about, whether it be a competitive community or otherwise, they're always going to have a community formed around them. And there is a massive responsibility that those people have that it's difficult to understand until you've been in that position. Like, I learned this responsibility by being a teacher, but there are so many, young people who get famous because of the internet for viral reasons that not even they understand fully, and don't know what to do with that power, literal power, like the influence that they have over other people, the ability to make something happen. I get very, very passionate about it. Like, I'm almost getting choked up a little bit thinking about how important it is for people to know that they have that, and to think not just about, like, what it is that they wanted to say, but what effect that's going to have on the world around them. In the Splatoon community, obviously, this is a lot, more unimportant of an issue. Like, do we just run splashes or not, But, like, I have people who, are everybody who is a fan of a content creator, they're going to leave these, like, really, really positive comments in the comments section, and the people who don't like that content creator they're not going to leave a negative comment, they're just going to leave, right? They're only going to stay and leave a negative comment if they are invested in that creator, or they understand that this creator has influence, and they feel that they need to combat that influence somehow. But comments drive engagement. And so, at the end of the day, most of the people who are saying something to you are going to be people who agree with you. If they agree with you, well, you're going to get a lot of positive, feedback on whatever it is you say. And a lot of that is going to be on the basis that you are the expert that they go to for information, not on the basis that you're correct and they've, considered it carefully. You get a lot of,
Right, because
the higher profile examples of this are really obvious to see. You get creators involved in, like, crypto scams because they were just, like, 17 and didn't understand what they were getting into, and it was like, oh, hey, free money, cool. But on a deeper level, like, attitudes about the world are shared this way. And I take that very seriously, and that's why I, say in a lot of my videos, things about how the information I'm about to share will be taken. I made a video recently about it was about the map design series, where I was like, okay, I'm about to complain about these maps. You are not allowed to use my complaints to make someone not want to play this video game. That is illegal. I ban it, or I forbid it. Because I knew that when I shared these ideas, which were nuanced and took a good amount of time to share, it was an hour-long series, that what people were going to take away from it and share with their friends was, Splatoon 3 has bad maps, dude. And that was about all the discourse was going to be. So there's a lot of care involved in being in a position like this. There's a lot of care involved in being a dude, in being a Prochara, in being a Squid School, in being one of those channels that people come to learn about competitive Splatoon. Because you don't just have a competitive audience. You're not just talking to your peers. You're talking to people who have never seen competitive play before and are looking to you as a representative of what it is.
Right.
And so, as a content creator, it's like, holy shit, there's a lot that I have to think about with everything that I say.
And it's unfortunate because, you can tell that there are instances, even recently, where people probably don't, and it's a shame to see those end up happening, and they have to start backpedaling, and I don't know. It really does make you think.
It's something that's always impressed me about FLC, that he is very unapologetic, he is very curt, very blunt. He is willing to put his ideas out there and have them tested. And with anybody else who tried to be like that in the Splatoon community, they would be straight up wrong in very glaring ways frequently and have to be making the apology tour about it all. But FLC is just always right about it. He doesn't miss, and so he just gets to be like that.
That's very funny. I aspire to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, if I could just be that on the nose and, like, having thought through every single situation every single time, like, I wouldn't be here. I'd be playing chess or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So it's like, a lot of people will comment on FLC as being this figure who's, like, arrogant, which, like, with any normal human, you'd be correct seeing all those mannerisms, but no, he's just correct. And he knows that he's correct better than, like, anybody else does. So, yeah, he's kind of got... Part of it is that, you know, he's got a lot of experience in the background that's backing that up, but it's just kind of impressive to see sometimes.
I still don't think he's right about Splash needing a nerf, but that's my take.
Interesting. What would you do to combat the crab meta? Like, if you're a game designer, what's your idea for how to not have triple crab on a lot of comps? Or is that a problem?
That's the thing. Is it a problem, right? Because, I mean, everybody... We can take the Overwatch League example, right? When GOATs started coming out, or when they started to implement 2-2-2. Is that interference an okay thing to do? I don't think so. I think giving players tools is the most important part. And right now, a lot of weapons just don't have tools. Right? Like, nerfing Sloshing Machine to the point where Sloshing Machine mains are saying, yeah, I don't want to play this in tournament. That's not going to be something that is going to help you out. Mm-hmm. In maybe a different scenario, maybe, but I think that machine nerf should be reverted. I think that they need to give weapons like Tri-Slosher, like Inkjet, more of a purpose. Like, give Inkjet the power to paint more and shred more. To make it something that's... Crab is super hard to hit, and you can shred it out. And you can, like, have your explosion shots, kill it easily. Right? Like, something along those lines. We only saw it really get buffed in that way with Trip Strike. That was the only buff that we saw that was significant enough a change to see it maybe get seen.
And I want to say, I think that is the coolest buff that I've ever seen in this game. Like, I think right? T-Tech being in the position it's in is awesome. Like, huge kudos to the developers for that idea.
I love T-Tech. I like I said, I was a Splattershot man. I have always been a fan of T-Tech and its ability to be good, to give me all the options in the world if I need to, but I need to be smart about literally everything I do. I'm good with that. That sounds like fun to me. It's just so interesting right now. We might see T-Tech eventually really take over the meta because of how strong it is, but I think that Crab is always going to be in contention. And if we have a push-pull like that, that's good. That's the goal. We need more like that, where there might be a little bit of rock, paper, scissors, where nobody really knows if there's an answer to everything. That's the kind of situation that people are looking for. And something like an Inkjet buff, something like a Suction Bomb buff that they could basically two-shot Crab, right? Give bombs, maybe not more... Give bombs an easier way to get double bomb, but don't reduce their white ink so that people can't, like, legitimately spam them like they're mortars that they can push from super far away. I think that that's the other main thing too, is people that want this to turn into another special spam meta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think about, like, there's maybe a video that I'm planning on making at some point about this, because I had an interesting thought the other day, like, what would happen if Stingray was in the game right now? Like, just as it is otherwise, except some weapons have Stingray too. Like, I feel like, first of all, that would be an answer to Crab, but also, that would give Zipcaster way more of a reason to exist. Because you can dive the Stingray with a Zipcaster, and like things like Inkjet maybe. So, like, that would both shut down the most popular option right now, but also there would be a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors there, because now Zipcaster, which is on Stamper, which is one of the most common weapons in the metagame, would also be there.
You want to know what's my extremely controversial opinion?
What is it?
Put Splashdown back in the game.
Splashdown would be a counter to Crab Tank.
Right? It would be a counter to Crab.
You can't aim at it. You'd need a teammate guarding you from the Splashdown.
Exactly. You can't just pop 2 crabs. You would legitimately just get destroyed.
Now, it would be tough to get close enough to make the Splashdown work. I feel like, man, maybe being able to aim a Splashdown like it's an Ink Strike, where you can just, like, look at the map and put it anywhere. That could be cool.
Oh, that would be so cool if you could, like, jump up and it would pause, you would have a little bit of armor, and then you could dive bomb towards someone. Come on, that would be dope.
Yeah. So, there are definitely a lot of good ideas there, and I kind of agree here. I think that something that was true of Brawl that I really hated about that game was that it wasn't so much that there were strong characters, because, like, I like strong characters. I like characters that can move fast, that have really good options, that make you feel powerful, that, like, do a lot of really cool things that let you be expressive. Because if a character only has one good move, like one good move that it isn't punishable on hit, that isn't too slow to be reactable, like, if they have enough options that are good, now you end up in a situation where you have multiple options that you can pick, and there's expression in that. Like, you get to pick the right option for that moment, and that makes it a lot more interesting than a character who only has a good back air, and so you spend the entire game with your back turned to your opponent, spamming and spacing back air. Like, Puff is more than that, and that was something that was really boring about the Jigglypuff style of gameplay that Hungrybox popularized, was like, no, she's got other good moves. It's not even optimal to play like this. And I think that made Jigglypuff a much more interesting character once people started realizing that. Well, in Brawl, half of the cast is just too slow. They just don't have any options that feel good. And so if you choose any of those characters, you don't feel good playing them. And I can see, you know, where you're at on the Splash, where Splash is a weapon that feels good to play. And so why not let it be in the game still and bring everything else up to par? Which means we need Line Marker to actually freaking do something. Right?
Hey!
It means we need the other specials to be able to have a way to answer each other, as opposed to Crab just holding everything off. Like, and so the triple Ink Strike buff, like I said, one of the best things we can do for the game right now. Make there be more weapons that have answers. Fix the Brellas. Right?
Fix the Brellas!
Imagine
what Tent could do right now.
Make Inkvac scarier. Like, so those are the things that I agree with in general with the buff-focused mindset. And so that I think we're on the same page on that regard.
It's very interesting to also hear about what JP players are saying, because I luckily talked to Nine and Tic Tac, who are a bit more in tune with that scene, and know a little bit more about what players are, how they're generally feeling, and even the JP players who think more like us, who are like, oh, I just want to play with strong. Like, I'm not like, I don't have that style where I'm super attached to a certain weapon or anything. Even they're saying, like, I don't know, Crab, I can't believe they didn't nerf Crab. They're saying that, and they're the ones who are playing it nonstop, right? So it's so interesting.
Yeah. And, like, I think that kind of a player is more likely to want a varied metagame, because they just want more things that they can play. If they're going to play what's strong, then they want there to be choices that are all strong.
Right. And that's what I feel is missing from this conversation. It's like, they play what's strong, and people are fine with that, but wouldn't it be nice to have more things that are strong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, I don't think that there are that many people who specifically want Triple Crab to be strong. It's more that they want a game in which the competitive integrity is there, and then after that, their second priority is for there to be variety.
And it's always fascinating hearing, the idea of competitive integrity is like, well, what even is that really? Because I feel like that's, I don't want to say a buzzword that gets thrown around, but it's definitely something that is nebulous.
Right, and I definitely agree that that's something I should probably define in, any video that I make where I use the term before I try and use it too much, because it's going to mean different things to different people.
Yeah.
So what is competitive integrity? Like, I think competitive integrity is... It boils down to we're not making up rules so that we can win. Because there's a lot of that in, especially, like, casual level mindsets. I made a video about it recently talking about how, like, okay, yes, we need to be good to casual players, but also sometimes casual players are not good to us. They suggest things that simply do not work, or they have toxic mindsets that we excuse them for to some degree because they are baby squids. But that, as, if we're shepherding them into the competitive community, if they're trying to get to know the game more and be more a part of it, and they're going to have to interact with our systems, we need to bring them up to speed on why it is that things work the way they do in competitive. Because sometimes people do come in with the mindset that, like, I should be able to win. They feel entitled to the ability to win, and that there is some work that goes into that. If you want to be better than someone else, well, they also want to be better than you. And you need to weigh both of those considerations if you're going to have a healthy competitive scene, in which case, we need to not do things that we're only doing so that I can win. We're doing things so that the better player can win. And from there, that raises a whole new can of worms about what the better player means, what the better player is.
Yes.
But we have to at least be able to get to that point, and I think that there are definitely some conversations where the people are arguing against Splash on the basis of, I want to be able to win.
Right, and really what competitive integrity boils down to is what set of rules can we put in place to make sure that the best player comes out on top, that everybody is playing in a way that puts them on an even playing field. And would a ban on Crab do that?
Is that a question you're asking me? Because I think, my answer is no. Because I think the better players are the ones who don't care so much about the affectations of how they play the game, so much as doing what it takes within a certain system of the game to win it. Like, they're not going to say, well, I would win if the game were like this. They're going to just say, oh, the game is like this, which is not the way that I thought it was. I must adapt to the game.
Right, and then of course there's the, just adapt TM, right? Yeah. And to some extent it's true, and most of the time that is the mentality that you should have. But it's always interesting.
And the thing is that question is framed from the perspective of us being players rather than us being developers. If we're a developer, we have this, like, godlike status within that sort of argument that,
right,
oh, well, if we don't like the playing field, we can change it. And as tournament organizers, we can kind of take the reins a little bit in that regard and say, we can ban certain things if we want to. Any tournament organizer at any time has the ability to ban things if they want to. And the question that we're really interested in is, should we? Should we play God a little bit here? Do we need to have a little bit of divine intervention to save this metagame?
Right, and then well, what do we mean by save? Do we mean that would be interesting for players, that it would be interesting for viewers, that it would be, hopefully have it to
what
enjoy
sins of game design do we need salvation from?
Yes, exactly.
Who is Squid Jesus?
Somebody make art of Squid Jesus.
Hold on, no, wait, I got you. I have this covered.
What do you mean you have this covered?
Look at stream.
I'm looking.
This is art that I was made by a former student of mine. Actually, completely unrelated to Splatoon. They did not know that I was a Splatoon player or anything. This just arose as a result of a in-school squid religion that formed, which was then immediately countered by the octopus cult, because people realized that kids were getting attention for having this squid religion thing, so they wanted to supplant it by having their own version. But like that's just a thing that randomly, coincidentally happened to me.
It's to do the darndest things.
They're great. I like them doing things that are darndest.
You are still an English teacher, right?
I'm certified, but I have not been in the classroom since before the pandemic, which was the luckiest timing of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
Not planned.
Really? Because I don't think... I mean, I'm assuming you do a lot of content creation almost full-time at this point, right?
Yes, it is 100% full-time. Like, I'm doing daily uploads. There's no way to be on the schedule that I'm on and also teach a class.
Right, exactly.
Heck, there's no way to teach a class in general, but that's a question of the American education system over everything else.
Ooh, I would love to pick your brain on that, but I think that we should save that for another time.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that aspect, but basically what it boiled down to was I was spending too much time to do my job in a way that I thought was adequate. It was taking me, 90 hours some weeks to grade papers, and I just cannot spend that much time on my career. So I left.
90?
90.
My lands. That is insane.
So, and granted, this is something that I have some agency over, and there are definitely better work-life balances that teachers have found. But the amount of input that I felt obligated, just as a human being, as someone who cares about the education of others, the amount that I felt was crucial for me to provide meant that I needed to spend more time that was healthy. It was either between watering down the input that I was giving people here, or just not having a life, sacrificing everything for the sake of those people. There was no way I was gonna meet a girlfriend that way, right? There's no way that I was going to have friends outside. No way I was gonna have more than one hobby. There's just too much. I couldn't spend time with family that way. It wasn't healthy, and so I had to quit.
Gotcha.
So I went and found another way that I wanted to become a teacher, and that's where I am now.
That's awesome. And really, like, seeing you shoot up onto the scene back, like, earlier this year, it was surreal to me to watch the numbers go up every time I checked in. Like,
right, the numbers just ceased to mean anything. I was like, this is a lot, but wait, it's been a lot for a month.
Right.
Is this just normal now? Or is this still a lot? Turns out it was a lot. The numbers have slowed down drastically.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Still.
In the last month, I've only had about 1,700 new subscribers, whereas in the month of October, or like from October 10th, or from September 10th to October 10th, so the first month of the game, I had 30,000 new subscribers. So it went down by a factor of 15 after the game launched.
Right, because, I'm also curious on your take on this. Do you think there is a significant amount of longevity that this game will continue to have, both from a content standpoint and from a competitive standpoint?
That is an interesting question, because I think that despite the fact that we have two prior games, there is no precedent for the state that Splatoon 3 is in, at least within the Splatoon franchise. Splatoon 2 had a renaissance. Like, Splatoon 2 was not big in the first... obviously, it will make a splash when it comes out. But then, after it came out and the hype died down from mainstream media that was driving all of that push... Why am I in this fight? Um, when the hype died down from all the mainstream media about it, it was way smaller than Splatoon 3 kind of ever was. And we're starting to go into that first dip now, where the people who are staying are less casual. There are still some casual players, but they are less casual than they were. They're not. This is not the flavor of the month anymore. We are not going to see Moist Critical playing Splatoon 3 on stream anytime soon.
Right.
And so from here, we're going into this dip. We expected this dip. The question is, do we continue to grow from this point? Because that's what Splatoon 2 did. Splatoon 2 got to that low point and then started growing. Super Smash Bros. Melee got to this low point in the 2008-2009 timeframe, where you would drive 4 hours to go to a 20-player regional with 6 of the top 10 players in the 4 states surrounding you, all in attendance, right? Like, it would be super stacked, but there would be nobody there. We'll probably have time for one more before we have to get started with the rest of the segment here.
Sure thing.
You'd have that sort of situation, and then from there it started growing. And then the Evo drive was a situation that blew it up, but it was still already growing up until that point. And it's that amount of growth that I think is the real indicator of the health of the scene. Are we bringing in more people than we drive out? Are people interested in staying? Or rather, are more people interested in staying than are interested in leaving? And if the answer is yes, our community will grow, we will be healthy, we will be bigger, and we will make progress. But that is the big question. And right now, I think it's too early to tell because we're still in that volatile state post-launch.
Mm-hmm. Right. And, I always talk about, the Nintendo heads who, probably started leaving in November when Pokemon came out. And then, now that the holidays are over and they don't have time to play anymore, et cetera, like, it's not going to be something that people do, like, pick up on a whim nowadays, right?
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see if we can integrate into any spread of communities outside of just the general Nintendo community, right? If we want to become a bigger esport. This is why I pushed for Splatoon to be on BTS at the Big House, is because I want people to get used to seeing Splatoon on things that aren't just Splatoon channels. And hopefully I'm going to be able to achieve that this weekend, although hopefully is the right word to use. I want people to start thinking like, well, what are other audiences that we could try reaching out to? Well, why not the competitive shooter audience, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's literally the genre of our game is a shooter. But the majority of shooter players have heard of Splatoon, sure, maybe. They don't know that there are competitions that are held consistently for the past 4 years. They don't know that we exist.
I like that imagination, because we end up getting grouped, like, in content with people who are, like you said, Nintendo heads. People who are interested in the game because it's a Nintendo franchise, not because, they're not competitive players a lot of the time. They're people who play the game casually, who make rage compilations because that's something that they enjoy making, when a competitive player does not enjoy the rage of it because they have felt it. No.
There are artists, there are, creatives that we love as a part of the community.
Right, but, we're happy that they're here, and, we're happy that people can enjoy the game in a different way, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to undercut their value, but they aren't the biggest, Venn diagram similarity that we have with other content creators. Like, we are much more similar, especially at top level, to top Valorant creators. You see Leafy posting about Valorant all the time, and getting into that sort of trash talk and stuff with them. That's what the top end of the community is like, and so I think one big issue for us is getting to a point where those groups will take us more seriously.
So that's been part of my goal for the past year, basically, is to try and push us on those channels, to push tournaments to be that way, so that we can reach out to those communities and say, like, hey, we have a lot to offer.
One problem that I see with that, and one problem that is also something that can become a beautiful thing, is that those competitive shooter communities are frankly the most toxic in all of gaming.
Yes.
Like, that is... in Splatoon, we have literally the most diverse community in all of gaming, in terms of gender at least, and I know that from a researcher who was studying it. But also, if we're trying to get in touch with the Valorant community, or... I mean, Valorant is getting better about it for sure. Riot definitely has a better approach than most, and I think they don't get enough credit for it. But,
yes.
You know, the Overwatch community at the moment is known for being especially toxic and for having a lot of sexist narratives. The Call of Duty community, holy crap, it is literally military propaganda. Like, how do we, as our Splatoon community, interface with that at all? So, that's a challenge that, like, I'm not personally interested in trying to resolve, because those other communities are not something that I want to be influencing our community until they themselves undergo significant change. So for now, what I want is for our community to build strong mindsets and to be good people, and for other communities to look at us as the gold standard that they should aspire to in some respect. And that's going to take a lot of growth from us. That's going to take, you know, just us building over time and becoming better known. I think being the top multiplayer game in the Game Awards is a huge step in the right direction there, because it at least got a lot of people saying, wait, what? If people are saying, wait, what? They're asking questions. They're not disregarding it. That's, you know, they may have some very bad uninformed takes about it, but they are at least asking questions. And if we can get them to the point where they're asking real questions, where they're actually willing to challenge expectations that they had that were not met. Now, you know, if we've got XQC going, what? Excuse me? That means we've got the world's attention. And that at least is a start. But I do not want XQC to be the top content creator of Splatoon. I think that there are some aspects of his community that he still takes with him that we can do better than, because we have been doing better than that. I want XQC to look at us and be like, whoa, wait. We can have gay people in the community without them being called slurs on comms? We can have women who are willing to put themselves out there and get on teams? That's a thing? And I want him to take that from us and learn that what the places that he is in can be better for it. That's what I see the Splatoon community being. I don't want us to be like everyone else. I want us to be better, and for everyone else to take our example and be better for it.
Yeah, like package it in a way that's more so like, hey, we've figured this out. We want, if you join us, if you are curious about us, like, know this first, and then engage with it.
Exactly. So, with that being said, thank you so much, Magic. This has been a wonderful conversation that I was very happy to have. I love the ideas that you're bringing. Anyone who's interested in the community is always going to be interesting for me to talk to and listen to. So I found that very productive, and I'm happy that we had a way to share these ideas with the community out around. But it is time for us to get going with the typical part of the show, which is where we bring on viewers for VOD reviews. So I'm going to say thank you so much to Magic. Actually, if we have... You know what? If we've got only 2 VOD reviewees, which I think is the case, we could just keep you on, and you could play the Anarchy Open matches with us that we usually do here. Like, I don't see that being a problem. Let me double check on that. If you have time, if you need to go, then totally that's your prerogative. You know, you've got your time, and as a content creator myself, I know how limited that is and how much you have to prioritize it. So I'm happy either way.
I believe I should get going just because there are a couple things I need to do to prep and some of the things I need to take care of, because I'm actually going to be coaching myself tonight. I've been coaching the Drexel team. If you're interested in collegiate Splatoon, follow at CCA_Splatoon on Twitter. Anyways,
do it. So
I need to go do that.
Yeah, CCA is a really cool piece of the community that I think is extremely important. It's like, think about college football and how big that is. Well,
right.
Where's college esports? that needs to be just as big. That is an important pipeline to bringing people up to the top level. And that's something that immediately gets neglected by anybody who's trying to make money on the scene. Esports is in for a reckoning right now because the bubble is popping, right? All of the venture capitalists who thought it was easy money because people used buzzwords when they were in board meetings with them, they're starting to realize that, oh, actually, no, this is not the case. And they have so much money that they don't really have to have analyzed that as much prior to investing in it. But now they're starting to realize, oh, okay, we're probably going to lose money on this. We should pull out. And so the only things that are going to be in place now are the things that actually have the value to stand on their own 2 feet. We're going to lose a lot of the infrastructure that we've come to be, familiar with, but what we built in that time, we still have, and we'll see what it is can last. Anyway, all of that being said, I completely lost track of where I was going with that. What were you talking about beforehand?
I will always say to that, Mark, is I work in an esports company right now, and that is very much the case. But anyways, just that I'm going to be dipping. I'm going to be going to coach the Drexel Peeps.
Right, CCA. CCA is what I was saying.
Yes.
So what happens a lot of the time in those situations where you have that kind of bubble is that people look at the top end. People look at the most, popular, the best players, the ones who, could make a following on their own without the help of investment. And what we need to do with our resources, rather than just pile them all at the feet of the people who are at the top of the pyramid, is start using them to invest in the bottom end of the pyramid that actually supports that. You would not have someone who is this good and this popular in this game if not for lower level players who are interested in aspiring to them. And so propping up that group of players is really, really important. And that's why initiatives like the CCA, which admittedly are still closer to the top of the pyramid, collegiate level college football is still very, very high level, more than the average player can aspire to. But even so, any initiative below that top of the pyramid is extremely important to support. And I highly recommend going and checking out the CCA for that reason. That's really the philosophy that Squid School was founded on. It's not about, at top level, here is what everybody needs to know to win the next tournament, because I'm not that guy. I'm not that player. But what I can do is help people get from B rank to A rank, right? And it's that sort of support that so many esports just do not have, and that I seek on this channel to provide. And that was a founding principle even before this was Squid School. That was what Bravest Esports was trying to do. That was their whole mission. So I believe very strongly in the CCA and highly recommend that everybody go and check it out, is all that's saying. That was a 3-minute plug.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Magic, for being on. Always appreciate hearing what you have to say. And you have a good night coaching.
Thank you so much. We'll talk again soon, all right?
For sure. I'm going to go send a message really quickly to the folks who are going to be VOD reviewees here so that they can hop in the voice call and we can join them. I'm probably also going to go and make myself some soup because I'm hungry. Did I copy and paste that? No, I didn't. Oops. Okay, and I'm gonna hop into here. Hello.
Hey,
How's it going?
going pretty good, man.
Awesome, awesome. So we've got you, and then we've got Korodust, I think, and oh dear. Jim is a little shy. I think someone's commenting on how the webcam was blurring. I do apologize for the webcam blurring. I have looked into that, and there's some sort of autofocus that I think is just native to the camera, because I don't think I can mess with that through any settings in OBS. It just kind of does that, which it's good until it doesn't work, because it means I don't have to focus it myself. But when it doesn't focus itself, I have no way to manually focus it myself. So that's part of the reason why there's going to be a new camera coming in, and I'm going to make sure it's a nice one. Because this camera is actually going to get swapped over to the cat cam, and I'm going to have the new camera so that it's not doing crazy stuff like this, and that's what that's all about. So, what's Magic's Twitter? I believe it is at magic_octo. I'm going to double check there, but I did actually tag them in the Twitter announcement that I made about this stream. So you will be able to find it there and just click onto it. Yes. At magic_octo. So, there's that. I'm going to give Coradust just a second to pop into the VC here and go and start warming up some food. All right. How was your Tuxedo Cat Appreciation Day? Romeo was very appreciated.
Hey, Jim. You there?
He went to go make foods.
Ah, I had to turn the stream off. The echo was a little much.
Yeah, it does
Alrighty.
that.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the donation, Bunny Hugger. I appreciate you. There's a reason that despite my self-esteem issues, I want to be a part of the competitive scene because I love the kind space the community is. One of 3. Well, maybe we'll read that all when we get all 3 of the parts here. Oh my gosh, and there's a donation every time. Thank you so much, Bunny Hugger. That's so kind of you. Hey, Gem, silence. Wait, did someone else show up here that I missed? Oh no.
Now,
No.
Is
That
this-
was
Hi,
us.
Doobie.
hi, I popped in to answer question while you were away, by the way. But Bunny Hugger, great name. Is it actually hugging bunnies? Or is it the sweater version?
Is this some Canadian slang I don't know?
Uh-huh. I
I see.
literally, when I show up to a LAN, I literally wear my sweater that says that it's a bunny hug on it. It's just a hoodie, but it's called a bunny hug where I'm from.
So the name would translate into American as sweaterer, one who sweaters.
Sweaterer.
Be right back.
Your camera froze again. We don't get a glimpse at Prochera while he's gone, guys.
Oh, rip.
You can just imagine Prochera is there, underneath the frozen Jerry think face. This is literally Jerry as the thinker. Yes, Jojo! Same vibes, same vibes.
I did freeze, so I was actually here the whole time.
Sure.
Plot twist.
I should have just tried to imitate you somehow.
See, if this camera were the cat cam, this would happen, but you wouldn't notice the difference because the cat would just still be there because he's snoozing. And that's what he does. He snoozes. And that is why that would be a superior cam to have on the cat. So I'll be real, he's not doing much. He's probably going to be in exactly the same position at the end of the stream as he was at the start of the stream. Okay. So to read the comments in full from Bunny Hugger, there's an issue that despite my self-esteem issues, I want to be part of the competitive scene because I love the kind space the community is. Of course, there are bad apples, but this has been a positive space for me since I started playing in my preteen and early teen years. I learned so much for the comp scene and have had so much fun. Playing with others in the server has been both fun and a learning experience. I'm so glad that we have been able to give that experience to you, Bunny Hugger. And I hope that it continues to be as positive as you have experienced it. And thank you so much. Okay. So it looks like I don't have a response yet from Coradust, but let's get started with the open here. Devi, if you want to stick around and play Woomy game with us, is Jamie around? I haven't seen him in chat, I don't think, but I haven't also.
He was earlier.
He was earlier. Okay.
He's still here. Yeah, he was when your face cam was froze.
Sam. Oh, hey, it's Sam. Hey, Sam, do you want to play with us?
Oh my God! Hi, Sam.
All right, whoever makes it into the waiting room VC in the Squid School server first. That's the way we'll do it, because now both Jamie and Sam have responded, and I feel bad for offering it to two different people when there's only one spot.
Jamie has an unfair advantage.
I need your friend code, aren't I?
Yes, so I'm going to DM you that, and also the password we're going to be using here.
666.
Like I
That
said,
unfortunately
Jamie has
does
an
not
unfair
work.
advantage. But Sam gave the go-ahead.
All right, go for Jamie. He was first? Oh, okay. I didn't know Jamie was first.
Well, Jamie was messaging earlier, and then I noticed Sam in the chat later on.
And Bab is here too. We have so many friends. Oh my goodness.
Hello, Bab.
Hi, Jamie. And I will send you two the password as well, because apparently we still don't have the open chat functioning at a point where it's readable to the people who should be able to read it. Still working on that.
Ooh, password.
So there's the password, and now we are going to enlist the help of our trusty cat friends in protecting others from being able to see it. There it is. Okay. And another donation from Bunny Hugger. Thank you so much. I'm from America. My friend just suggested it when I was a kid for a kid's game. So, all right. It is not relating to the Canadian understanding of Bunny Hug.
That's what I figured, but you know what? I had to ask anyway.
I do think that this amount of Canadian propaganda is acceptable because this is an aspect of Canadian life that everyone should adopt.
Call the Sawyer Bunny Hug.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's wonderful.
It's more specifically a hoodie, but you know what? It's literally the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for the membership, Griddleaz. It says, welcome to Squid Friend. That's... I mean, I guess that works, but... I wish I could change the syntax of that.
I think it's just kind of just the initial how it goes.
Right, like, I feel like,
Like, welcome to, and then the name of your clan.
I feel like that must be, like, hard-coded in, because I don't think I had agency over what it said exactly to greet someone.
Yeah, I think the welcome to is default, but you may have had been able to make a clan name or whatever.
I mean, the squid friend part is obviously something that I came up
Yes.
with, but it never asked me how I wanted that part of the text to be written.
I'll have to.
And let me know
Welcome to Squid Friend.
when the friend request is sent, by the way.
Oh goodness, it's been sent.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
Sure thing. I probably need to delete someone to make space. And so, a fond farewell to... Man, I know all these people.
Tell you what, next
this
time
was
you
a-
gotta delete.
This is a bad... Oh, here we go, here we go. I don't remember who this is, so... A fond farewell to Rizzo.
Next time you need to delete someone, delete us. We give you permission, it'll be completely clear on your conscience.
No, I have no problems with deleting people if I haven't played with them in a while or anything like that. It's just finding someone who I haven't played with in a while that's like I can see, you know, can't see it being useful to have friended for the near future. Finding someone who's like that is getting harder and harder.
Oh, fair.
Okay. So the account is called Teresa, right? With a donut?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, we've got the right person. How should we refer to you, by the way?
Me personally, Calliope.
Calliope. All right.
And for
And,
anybody in chat, oh sorry,
I'll get the room back up. But continue.
anyone in chat that's wondering, yes, I am a member of a plural system, one of 3. I am also trans, pronouns she, her. I'm also weird. Know the
So am
things
I.
I said. Yeah, the things I said previously. None of that was weird. But also, I'm weird.
Oh, rip the lobby.
Yeah, it's gonna die because I had to go back and accept the friend request. So, come on back in. We've had cats to keep us company in the meantime.
Oh, I get it.
Breathe if you are weird. I'm holding my breath. I don't want to be weird.
Too late.
No.
Give in, gem. You
Alternatively, eat
know,
food.
deep down.
I've already admitted to much insanity on my own stream, so weirdness follows.
Also, I will warn you now. I know the one weapon and the one weapon only.
Yeah, that's fine.
No way.
We can work around that. Jamie's already off of his main to accommodate the comp, so we're doing what we need to do to fit it in.
Well, what we're using, Jamie? Because I could use a different splatling that needs paint.
Oh no, it's fine.
Because I'm working on like 3 different ones at the same time that I have builds for now.
No, it's all good.
I just don't. Now, do I want to keep all the range or actually go? Yeah, okay, we're gonna go for the booyah bombs.
Alrighty.
Just gotta find my stealth jump shoes. There we go.
I need to.
Yes, I run stealth jump in Rainmaker. Shh.
I need to implement self jump into my builds more.
Yeah, they're saying Jamie's pretty quiet. I'm gonna turn Jamie up.
Oh.
Because this has been a recurring thing recently when we've been in call with Jamie. Just like the microphone has been randomly quieter.
Rip the lobby.
Cool! Here we go again. More cats. CPM through the roof. I may be cringe, but if I am cringe, then I am free. Yeah, I'm a big believer in that Pokimane tweet. I think I retweeted out a little while ago. It was, don't kill the part of you that is cringe, kill the part of you that cringes.
Ah, yes.
Classic.
I don't cringe at myself. I cringe at other people.
Did you see the clip I sent you, Jem, from your open session with Magic?
I saw that you sent me a clip. were I to play it, everyone would hear it.
It's not. It's literally like a few seconds, but it's just when you're spawning in on Scorch, when you were playing with Scrub, the Brella player, you literally do not appear out of the box. You just stay there. And I'm like, ah.
I like this espresso machine, okay? Just give me some time. I'll get out of it eventually.
It's just a phase.
You coming, Jimmy?
Oh, what kind of soup? This is chicken and sausage gumbo. It's out of a can. It's nothing special or fancy that I made, but it's the spiciest thing that you can find in the store.
The spiciest thing you can find in the store. Oh my god. I don't know if that's true, but okay. I love how there's a person named
spiciest
that
soup.
puts a shocked face.
Spiciest soup, to be clear.
Okay,
not the spiciest thing you can find, but it's... And that's not saying anything. I am still a white person with white person tastes, but it's more spice than anything else there is, and it's pleasant.
To.
I find it pleasant.
Oh my god. I still love how Soup Chicken put shocked face right after we're discussing soup.
Oh, hey, that's Cora Dust in chat. Wait, are you waiting? Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. Hello, Cora Dust. Hold on, let's back up for a second, because we've got our second VOD reviewee here. Cora Dust, what do you play? What weapon? Hello?
Just a moment.
Alright.
Here we go. Had to mute your stream because it was a few seconds behind. I play, Hydra Splatling and Flingsaw Roller mostly. I've also been trying a T-Tech.
Devi, would you mind allowing another Hydra into our lives?
Here we go.
Sorry about that,
I gotta remember how to leave.
It's the minus button.
I know, I got it now.
Appreciate you, Devi. Thank you.
I will just be here on mute if you need me later.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
In the VOD review.
All right. So, to Cora Dust, I'm going to give you my friend code first, which is going to kill the lobby, of course, because I have to go and accept it. And then I'm going to give you the password that we will be using. And
oh, wait, I'm playing with you.
Yeah.
Oh.
You are totally welcome to. If
right.
if you're not available to, let us know, and we'll just bring Debbie back in. But
no, I'll do it. I just need to get.
All right. So if you're getting it turned on, then why don't you? Do you know your friend code off the top of your head? Probably not. That's a thing that normal people do not have. Yeah. Okay. I need to remind myself of that sometimes. So yeah, just hop online and put that in before you boot the software, and then we'll be good to go. Oh yeah, you're supposed to be able to use the app to add people without killing the lobby. I forgot about that. But that would mean, I think, that I need to get their friend code, which will still be slower because I have mine memorized and already sent in the DM in Discord. Soup Chicken, what if I made chicken noodle soup right now? How would that make you feel? That's my favorite canned soup. Oh, awesome. The King of Sofas approves of my soup decisions. Gem gives off chicken noodle vibes. Is it chicken noodles soup for the soul? Is that where we're going with that? Thinking of making Kraft mac and cheese. Dad likes to put hot sauce on his mac and cheese. Yeah, that's a pretty common thing, actually. I heard of a lot of people doing that. If you want it to be hotter, then yeah, that's a way to do it. And let me know, Cora Dust. Is that how it's pronounced, by the way?
Yeah.
Let me know.
You can call me
Dust
Dust for short, if that's
Dust,
easier.
Okay, cool. Let me know when you have sent the friend request so that I don't miss it.
Yep, typing it in now.
Cool. Okay, HelloFresh sent me 6 meals. Okay, that's how many come in a box. That's not every single meal for the day.
Don't you understand how capitalism works, Jim? You are beholden to the company now.
All right,
owe
friend
me.
request
No.
sent.
Awesome.
And my username in the game is the same as my username on Discord.
Sounds good. Oh wait, maybe friend requests show up once they're input on. I didn't think about that aspect of it. So maybe I can actually accept them for the phone. Well, too late.
Yeah, you can. I have done that before.
Gotcha. That's something that I should. That's tech that I should learn. I should lab that out for the next one. I used the gamer words. It's funny.
Oh, I think I know part of the issue why I've been coming in a little bit more quietly. I adjusted volume stuff for outputs.
Okay. I have you turned up as much as I did, and it's still coming across at a pretty normal volume. It's not like overwhelmingly loud like I would expect it to be at this point.
Yeah, I'm also just a quiet person.
I don't know that that's true. I think it's just, some audio quirk. So I've met you in person. I know what your voice is like.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot. Wow, it's been almost a year.
Yep. You gave me a big hug where you picked me up off the ground and then put me back down, just like you did for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Jamie is very strong.
I like hugging people.
Crazy how that's almost been a year already.
I know, right?
So remember when just like we go in, it's just like, hey Jem, are you at the venue? No, okay, we get our badges, come out. Look, it's Jem!
Lobby's up, everybody.
I missed the hot tub.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun thing. Meanwhile, like, what is it? They're posting stuff about the fire pit. Me and Taku are like, nah, we got the hot tub.
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty.
It was a little bit shaky here. I think partly because I'm hungry and the food hasn't hit the belly yet.
There you go. Alrighty.
Do people ever call you Squid School? I like to call myself Mr. Squid School sometimes. I think that's very funny. I definitely never get tired of hearing it that way, but most of the time, like, they'll refer to the channel as Squid School, and they'll know that I am Jem.
I think we're covering on that, knots.
One on left, far left, far left, far left.
I see him.
Flanking.
Going after you, Cal. Up down to far right.
Oh,
Striking into mid. That was a little mistimed.
Mid-break
One,
out.
another one flanking left, another one flanking left again.
Probably some guy. Just be careful.
There
There
we
you
got
go.
him.
Good job. Knots on right, two with the charger.
Alright.
Nice
Knocked down. Charger missed me. Charger down.
There you go. I'm picking
Let's
up
get him
Rainmaker.
picked up.
Nice zombie on the grate.
Oh,
Got me.
shoot.
Thank you. Guy on left again,
Flanking.
flanking again. Just
Oh.
expect constant flanks.
Always the same there.
Airspray did that. Not down.
3 on the Rainmaker shield.
Yep. Rainmaker.
Nice. Nautilus on left with someone else.
Got one.
We can just leave it there. We don't even
Yeah.
have a reason to pop it.
I wasn't gonna keep it fat.
Got not.
Vacuum.
Nice.
They're
Got
popping it.
backing. I'm on their plat, but I'm not gonna get much here. Okay, never mind. I
There
got
you go.
one.
Oh, I
I
died.
got you. One's
going.
trying to
Alright,
pop
I'm
Rainmaker.
finally down. Nice.
just
Just not.
right
Just
down.
not.
It's gonna keep it fat.
Do we want to
Keep on
stall it out
playing.
here for 3 minutes with a lead of 59? We might want to move it.
Yeah.
Nautilus coming right. Ah, they got me. Nautilus behind you, Callie.
Mason's got me.
Oh, one's here. Behind us.
Yeah, one flanking left.
Okay.
We have on one Rainmaker.
Good
Got him.
kill.
Nice.
Charger on right with one other.
I'm at like 1 HP.
Oh, two down to
down.
bomb. Yeah, they're probably gonna get checked for
Pushing.
this.
I'm in a bad position. I'm dead.
Just careful in 2-man stagger now.
Charger came across.
They don't
me
have to go
great.
very far. They probably get lead here. Ah, I'm down again.
Mason's got me.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
Rainmaker.
My bad, honestly. I kept going down to Rainmaker pop.
I should not have kept it. I should have moved it sooner, I feel. But they went down 3.
Did they know they actually added squids from Splatoon to real life in the new update? Sounds fake. Are you
Well,
sure?
they
Are
did.
you getting that from like some like Facebook meme or something? Because that's usually fake news.
I like looking at fake news. I find it funny. Like the Earth update Twitter.
Yeah, where are the patch notes?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Tierzu, the YouTube channel that compares evolution to competitive gaming?
Yeah, that's great. Ashik was showing us one in the stuff photos you see about Scorpions. It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, because it's like there is a very good comparison between the evolution of a metagame and the evolution of species.
Mhm.
Like you can make a lot of the same kinds of assumptions and analyze things in exactly the same ways. To where it's like, wait, why does this work so well?
Is humanity the world's Splash-O-Matic?
Yes.
There's
That
one
is
on
exactly
left
what
and
it
one
is.
Rainmaker.
Pull shot down.
Kill the jump.
Okay, going left.
Which makes the Splatana Stamper like the dog.
Got one.
Oh crap.
Viper's after.
There you go.
Alright, we're
Viper's
clear
low.
on the top.
Oh, I'm down to bomb. Didn't see it.
One behind us. I'm gonna get forced off. I'm down.
Yeah, they're gonna drop down left side.
Oh, I'm dead.
Watch out in mid. I got one with the bomb.
And we're still out.
Two pushing right box. Both weak.
Yeah,
Got one.
there you go.
Another
So
one on
we-
me. Oh my god. Ah, I got crossed so hard. Oh no. Caught in 4K.
We kill.
Got
Did
two.
we
Got two with it.
Got Flings up. Do you know where the Julie's are?
They're on right.
Yeah, they're on the way.
Okay. I see him. Rolled away. One left, two right. I have Wavebreaker ready.
Watch out for missiles. They're gonna go in on these. They grabbed. They're going for check. Got him.
There you go.
Jump to left.
Just jump on the left.
Things are on left or right still.
I got the wiper.
Flings a mid. Left stack now.
Flings
Yeah.
are dead.
Nice. One more watching me from mid. Julie Squelchers.
Apple, Wiper.
Oh, I fell. I'm dead.
Yeah, they saw me coming around to the right. Down. Okay, good reset though. Let's get some paint control near our, especially our side.
Yep. Got Julie's.
One on Jamie.
Roller on me. Dang. Got me. These are the
can't hit
two
any
top, the two left stack.
Rainmaker carrier down. Wiper still behind us.
They did get checked.
Wiper weak. Hit him twice. Got Wiper.
There you go.
Flings are pushing in. Got them.
There you go.
And there's a jump here.
Yep.
Jump camped.
There you go.
There's one on our snipe.
One jumping in
Wiper's
behind.
here and has a jump too.
I'm just gonna pick up.
Help.
There you go. Good
Got
job.
wiper.
Still one there.
There's two behind you though.
Yeah. We can probably get pop here.
Yeah, they're
Now
coming
they're
back.
gonna come in
They're
behind.
gonna pinch.
They're still. Yeah.
Missiles can.
They're still pushing left. Keep bombs in front.
Down.
Got him.
One at goal still. Doolies. Nice.
Dead.
Even
dead.
there.
Pepper
Dude.
explosion.
There you go. Wait. Okay, let's pop in and let's move forward. Let it reset. Get paint back in mid.
Yeah, watch out for flanks and stuff. They've got a lot of paint to work with, so they can be anywhere. Like there, for example.
Viper got me on right. Thing. He's in that little pocket area.
There's two on the back. Leave bomb.
Wiper over on right. They're on snipe.
I'm down to wiper.
Got Rainmaker.
Got Flingza. That's two down. Wiper
Oh,
dropped into
grab
mid.
Flingza.
They're weak. They're weak on left. They're jumping. One left court now on the Rainmaker. On the Rainmaker.
There you go.
Wiper
Good job.
dead.
Good stop. Good stop. One on
Cover
right
right
stack.
stack.
Careful, don't get too far forward.
Ah.
Yeah, we needed to push to 9 there, so we need to get the front lines in front first.
Sorry.
All good.
No, it's all good. It's all good. And sorry, I'm used to this like leaving the I don't know. I feel I should have helped you sooner, Callie.
Sorry.
Wait, no, you're not. Sorry, Coro. Yeah.
Nom, nom, nom. Almost done with my soup. And then I will be powerful.
Wonderful.
Got spinach in it?
I don't think it does, so less powerful than I could be, but it's a start.
You're not Popeye.
I do eat Smee spinach though. I use it on every sandwich I make.
Nice.
And I also like it on pizza.
Heck yeah.
It's just good.
Red sauce too, or only white?
Red sauce too, or only white on a pizza?
Yeah. For
Oh.
spinach.
I'll eat any of the above.
Okay.
I'm not very particular when it comes to pizza.
Oh my god.
They're all in that like little area. They rushed it. 3 bomb is out. Careful.
Oh, nice.
Got him.
Good follow up.
Uh,
Still one on right,
Blaster's hitting
looking
me.
for pickup.
There you
Nice.
go.
Jump.
They're jumping in pretty aggressively. They're gonna be forward. Oh my god.
There you
Got
go.
one.
Brush behind us, on left. Looks like they backed up.
3 bomb is out. Right
I'm
side.
gonna die here. I'm gonna... Rapid Blaster's on the far left.
They are really running
Or
it
right,
down.
I mean.
Oscar's up on the right box. Oh no.
Brush still on left. Nice. Might be able to get in now. Good stuff,
There you
good
go.
stuff. Get paint and watch out for jumps. Because they've been playing really aggressively with those jumps.
There you go.
Nice.
Good job. They're in a stagger now. I'm gonna go down to
Striking
bomb.
into right.
Traded.
I'm in behind them on stacks.
Rainmaker reset.
Nice. 3 bomb is
Ooh.
gonna be out.
That's just a jump to the rail. Watch out for Booyah.
Oh,
We're one down, be careful.
Rainmaker's on
Rain
left.
down.
They got 3 down this arrow.
I'm gonna pick up and go left.
Yep.
Well, arrow behind, arrow
Arrow's
behind.
on right. Arrow's on right.
Got dunk, and now I'm gonna back up and
Oh,
play safe.
Rapid Blaster on the
Or die
stack.
to Booyah is what I'm gonna do, actually.
I've been wiped. It's all good. We should be back up to defend push. They used special early. Help me on left.
On my way.
Got 2.
One on left stack. Got him.
There you go. 3 down.
Last
This-
one left, last one left, shred. Oh, almost got it. We can cut him off, though. Oh, that was
he's
well
dead.
played, well played.
Yeah. Just help me pop. I'll pick it up.
Blaster.
There's a bunch coming in from left. Watch out in front of you, Jamie.
Yep, I see. I hit 1.
Whale
Got one.
incoming.
3 bomb is on me.
Rapid Blaster dead. Traded.
Thank you.
Two
I
in their
am weak.
freezer, both weak. Nice.
Got 1.
Brush on me. Hit him twice. Oh, I didn't trade. My bad. You're still in freezer. In mid now. Watch out for bomb.
There's one behind you.
Flanking, behind.
Got him.
Nice. Just
You're
arrow
gonna
spray.
push up now.
They're on the rail. They're on the rail.
Spray on me. Yeah.
Arrow spray weak. Nice.
Got
And
him.
down. Okay, let's go. Oh,
I have 20 seconds. Enough to make a little push here.
all right. Good points. Good points. Let's see if we can back up and play it safe.
I have 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm just
Do
gonna
what you gotta
push
do.
it. There you go.
Watch out for top left now. We don't have to hold here if we don't want to. They're coming out right stack and rail.
Ah, dang. I'm trying to defend you. It's all good, though.
Cool, that was silly anyway.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I see what you're trying to do.
Oh, well, I should not have popped that at the time that I did.
Backing up.
Careful. We're in 2-man stagger now. Bucket's up on right. Got Bucket. Yeah, Rainmaker.
Nice, they're two down.
Really.
Brush weak and
Have-
left,
have
hit him
the
twice. They're behind the goal.
Oh, what the?
They're
Okay.
playing bumper brushes with me.
I'll just put in the right far corner. Right far corner.
Rapid dead.
Got him.
There we go,
There you go.
nice. Good call to put it in the corner there.
Thank you.
Congrats on S Plus Primal ticket.
The reason why we just in case it's not obvious why we put it there because it will help stall. They have to push into us.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was my intent. I just I didn't exactly know where to go with it to stall until you said something.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, at the end of the game, you don't need to push any further, especially if that push is unrealistic to expect yourself to be able to get any more points for. So you're disincentivized from just pushing it into them, where they'll likely be able to have a good defense. Better in some cases to just play safely and protect what is already a good lead. Keep them away from it. So there are situationally sometimes where running it backwards is probably the right idea, but grabbing it and running it backwards too early is a huge problem, and standing on top of your own goal is also a massive mistake.
Yeah. Okay. They don't have much bomb pressure. Go get pop easy.
I'm on their stacks. That's one. That's two
Yep,
down. Two. There's freezer.
Fuck it
Nice.
down, white, pick up, go.
Pick it up. Go left.
Oh,
I'm on their stack.
Nice.
There's one on the rail.
Ah, dang, I couldn't help you out soon enough.
One dropped right.
Bucket zombie on the top left.
Yeah, just go for points.
Nice.
I was like, points or winning the game? Question mark.
Well, the
Pretty good.
vessel was painted. And there were two there.
Got
They're taking
two.
it far. Oh, they're just hanging it back. We can push this.
I'll jump into that. I shouldn't have jumped into that, but I did.
Get up, get home.
Nautilus coming out top left.
Okay. We jumped it off. Bucket zombie top right.
But
any more?
on,
Thank you. Tri-Slosh has
Oh, there's two there.
Yochev ready.
I'm down to
Ah,
nine.
dang. Just
Three on left, I think.
As well.
We might be a little bit staggered here.
See.
Careful.
Try slasher on left back.
They backed up.
It's all good. Oh shoot. Yeah.
One.
Good pick. Tri-Slosh
One in
still there
freezer.
on top right.
That's
Got
still
him.
on left.
One top right. Got him.
Got him. Thank you.
Just not.
Yeah.
They popped rain.
Uh,
I'm in their base.
Okay. Here.
Where's
can you
Not?
pick up, Callie?
Knots on
Or
still
Cass?
left.
Oh, got him.
Bucket zombie thing.
Yep.
Thank
Try
you.
slasher.
about-
Stay down.
One in freezer still. Bucket. Left.
Bucket
Left
here.
court. Nice. I'm gonna pick up go left with Jamie.
Yep. Got not. Let me pick up ahead of you.
One from above on right. I'm
Ah,
backed
damn.
up.
Down to bug in front.
Sorry about the alarm, folks. That was on my phone.
It's all good. Okay. I have a Waybreaker.
Got one. Bucket drop freezer.
Bucket down. Thank you.
That's still in the upper
Drop
left.
freezer. Nice. Good
Yep.
pick. One coming out
Top
left
left.
now.
Still two top left. Bucket got me. He's weak. Mid box.
He's coming after me. Can't hit him. Both. Oh. Okay, got him
Nice.
somehow.
Bucket still
He's
left.
kind of laggy.
Coming up into mid. Nice.
Good pick.
Yeah, dead.
Try on
Mid
me.
30. Got bucket. Not
Traded try. Just jet.
They
just
hit
jet.
something. Oh, it's
the top right. I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna let it be here for a minute.
Yeah, it's good.
Try fell in the void. Watch out for a try strike.
Jet mid, got him.
What's this thing?
Good
Mid,
pick.
yeah.
Non-less on me, got him.
Good pick. We got you.
Buckets right, stacks, got them.
I think I'm going left. Careful, top mid.
Bucket
There you
really
go.
weak.
One.
There we go, got him.
Got him.
There's another one.
All
Another,
good.
yeah.
One on Ryer. Drop down to right stack. Not. One other.
Yeah, not and try both in that same spot. Oh, I didn't mean to drop. Well, I'm probably gonna die. Goodbye.
Good jump out.
Oh, tries here on the
Or
Rainmaker.
not. Okay, I see him. Good pick.
Just stood there.
I'm gonna kind of try flanking into the right side. Give it a try.
It's on
thing.
top.
I'm missing too many shots for that.
Ah,
10 seconds, they gotta pick up.
yep. Okay, last 5. Use your Buddha bomb
Smoke.
now.
Yeah.
Go into left side, far left.
They
There you
jumped
go.
off! They just dove off the map. They were just like, nope, I'm going out on my own terms.
Come on, I wanted another kill.
Oh no.
And good use of, and good timing on the Buddha bomb.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
This pressured them into us.
Alright. Well,
Do you have time for one more, or
here's the thing. Normally I would say yes. Problem is, the internet has been going out at the top of the hour recently. And I've done some things to try and change that, but I don't know whether they worked. So there's a high likelihood that in 3 minutes the stream goes down.
okay?
So if that were to happen, I would also disconnect from the match. So we should probably not, just to be safe.
Okay.
Wow, look at their special output. That was really low. It's interesting.
Who, mine?
No, their special output, like the other teams.
Oh yeah.
2 with 0 and 1 with only 1. Anyway, so we'll pause there and then see if it dies, because it might not die if what I did actually worked. But I don't want to trust that, because I've said that before and been proven wrong. So we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be here with the VOD reviews. So I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. I'm not gonna sneeze. Maybe another sneeze. No other sneeze. Okay, we're good. Anyway, so I guess. Oh hey, there's somebody else subscribed to HelloFresh. Yay! Make green bar go up. Huzzah! So for those who don't know, I'm sponsored by HelloFresh. I've seen people talking about it in the chat, but if you go to HelloFresh.com and use that code that's on the screen, they give you, there it is, for 21 free meals. So off and free shipping. Basically, there's a big discount on the first box and boxes that come after that if you use the code, to where early on it's actually cheaper than groceries. So if you've ever wanted to try it out, that is a good opportunity to. And they give me money for every person who does it. So like, we're all happy. You get food, and then they get capitalism, and I get money. Ding ding. So that's my pitch. Did you like my elevator pitch there? I hope you liked it. So we're coming up on about a minute before the disconnect would happen, if it's going to happen at the time that I think it will. So fingers crossed, everybody. If the stream goes down, that does not mean it is over. That just means that the internet went out, and it will be back in about a minute and 10 seconds. So stick around for the VOD review segment of it, and in the meantime, Cordust and Calliope, if you haven't sent me the replay codes or a link to the recordings, then why don't you guys do that right now so that I've got that loaded up and ready to go for. Actually, Cordust, I see I've got yours already. So unless you want a different one, we'll use that. And oh, there you've got yours too. Okay, cool. So we've already got that part taken care of. All right, let's see. Is it gonna work? If it doesn't die, then we have succeeded. But I've been hurt before. I have little faith.
Hey, thank you for having me, Jem.
Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. You have a good one if you're gonna go on to other stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat.
Good. Eating is good.
Eat. Bye.
Oh my gosh, guys. So here's the thing. While the internet did not die, we don't know when it's going to die, because it's going to die at some point.
Uh-oh.
And